Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Matt, and today I want to talk about two approaches that you can use when you are practicing speaking in a foreign language. And so this could be something like, a conversation with your conversation partner on a talkie, at a language learning meetup, or something along those lines. And I think a good comparison to these two methods is kind of intensive and extensive reading. It's very similar to this idea. Basically, the idea is that one approach is to kind of be more rapid, but worrying about mistakes a lot less. Don't worry about using the correct word all the time. Just kind of speak at a more kind of enjoyable and relaxing pace, kind of a more rapid pace. And the other approach is to be a little bit more detail oriented, to be kind of very cognizant of the grammar that you're using or using the right word or things like that. And I think that both approaches can be very helpful to you. And on the first approach, I think that a lot of language learners get very discouraged because they are very hyper focused in on accuracy and on using the correct words, on conjugating everything perfectly, using the right word order, the right grammatical structures, and things like that. And what ends up happening is their pace slows down quite a bit, and then they second guess themselves, start making mistakes, and then they just feel very discouraged. But I think a good kind of solution to that a lot of times is just to worry about the mistakes a lot less. Just speak at a kind of more rapid pace and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about using the right word, the right grammar. Just kind of go with the flow, kind of like you would be speaking normally in your native language. And this can be kind of a lot more enjoyable overall in your experience in that conversation that you're having. It's not to say that you're not worried about grammar, or you don't care about using the right words, right? Try to use the right words and the right grammar, but just don't be too obsessed about it, right? Just go with the flow of things. And this can be very helpful just to just get better at speaking overall, right? Because in a normal context, you're going to be speaking at a more rapid pace. You're still working on your pronunciation overall, on expressing yourself in different grammatical tenses, on just kind of relying on that recall function and just speaking what's on your mind versus kind of being very just hyper focused in on all the details, right? Like normally at a kind of a higher competency level, you're just expressing yourself. You're not really worried about your grammatical structure or things like that when you are speaking your native language, right? It just kind of comes to you. So I think it's worthwhile to just work on expressing yourself kind of in a more carefree way, right? A more quick way. And in a lot of ways, it's a lot more enjoyable. That being said, the second approach can also be very helpful and useful. So, being more cognizant about the words that you're using, right? Trying to use words that are more passive and that are more in your passive vocabulary, and try to bring them into your active vocabulary. To use grammar that maybe you're not very familiar with or you're not very comfortable with, and work on expressing that and being very cognizant of all the grammar that you're using, right? Trying to use the correct word order, the right grammatical conjugations or structures or whatever it is, and just being focused a lot more on accuracy. Maybe it's also trying to say more longer and complicated sentences or thoughts, right? It can be very helpful to kind of be, maybe a little bit more specific about that accuracy, or trying to work on certain skills. I think that can be very helpful, especially with kind of grammar that you're not very used to expressing. Maybe it's like the future tense, or getting kind of more comfortable with complex word order, or like I said, using words that you don't really use all the time and try to be more comfortable with them in an active context. And like I said, I think both are very useful in their own ways. Give both methods a try. I think that it's just going to depend on what's relevant for you at your current skill level, where you're at, what you're focused in on. But try both methods out, because I think they can both be very useful and very helpful. So that's what I had to say. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.